VC Playmakers, we're back, baby. We got the big breezy Roski. What's going on, brother?
Much. Getting ready for another crazy episode because we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do a lot. And Champagne Puppy, what's going on there?
Doing fantastic. We had a nice little, mid-season vacation. But time to hit the road running now. Get back on the grind.
Did you go to Seattle
Is
to
that
take
your
that picture?
Yeah, is that your doppelganger or is that you?
I was actually, I was waiting for it to get developed. I was actually at the Super Bowl. I didn't want to share that until I got this photo developed, and me and Sammy D on the field, 50-yard line. So thanks, big dog, Sam. Appreciate it.
You and your buddy, best friends, BFS forever, bud.
Not quite best friends, but we're like cousins, I'd say.
I mean, when he sees this photo of the two of you, he's probably gonna be like, "Oh, that's my dog."
Oh yeah, that's my primo right there, my cuz.
Primo.
All right, let's do. We got a ton of signings to get through, and some of them were a couple weeks ago, but that's okay. It's always good to let a signing happen and for it to digest. But Roski let us know last Tuesday. I didn't even know Waddle. What's his first name? I wrote it down wrong. What's his first name? I wrote Jalen.
Jaden,
Yes,
isn't it?
Jaden.
Jaden. Wait. Hold on.
Now
you're making me double. Yeah, hold on.
Well, listen, we know it's Waddle. The wide receiver Waddle gets traded to Denver last Tuesday. What do you make of that? What's the impact of Denver? Why don't we start there? What's the impact of Denver? Do you like it?
I think it's a great move for them. I mean, unfortunately for them, they're going to have a tougher schedule, and it's not really going to matter at the end of the day. But getting some help for Bo Nix, suffered that injury at the end, where some could argue he'd be in the Super Bowl right now and arguably the champions. But like I said, Cuz back there did his thing and got the dub. So I think overall it's good for Denver. Miami is just full crash and burn. I don't know what they're doing, but I respect it. Just if you're going to do something, go all in. Go all in to be terrible, and they're doing a fantastic job.
See, it's nice that you respect it, but you didn't, because we haven't given out a wedgie since the offseason started. And let me just tell you, I have it up on my phone here. Ooh, the Miami Dolphins, $182.29 million in dead cap space. Ooh, and so Tua this year, right, $55 million. Tyreek Hill, $28 million. Jalen, I wrote it down right. Jalen Waddle, $26 million. Jalen Ramsey, $20 million. And the list just goes on and on. What I don't understand, look, if this is a reset, cool. Do a reset. But why did you sign Malik Willis? To punish this guy, to give nothing around? I don't understand have Flacco be your quarterback, like a 59-year-old quarterback who just signed with the Bengals.
With the Bengals,
signed with them. Why not bring him in, or let Skylar Fitzpatrick or whoever they had? I don't understand.
Skylar Thompson. I think that's
there. You go. Thank you. Thank you.
How to get first name right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't know what Miami's doing. It makes no sense. Once you saw that signing, it makes no sense now. Why trade away Waddle? You would think that's their number one now. That's his go-to, right? For Malik Willis, but he's gone now. And I guess let me start with the whole Broncos thing. I've been going back and forth on that one because, when Tyreek Hill went down last season, he didn't do anything and he was supposed to be the guy, right? But needless to say, Tua obviously I don't think he's been right ever since his concussions, right? I don't think he's all there, to be honest. So obviously the quarterback situation wasn't helping. So was it the quarterback situation, or did Waddle peak already 3 seasons ago? So I've been a little iffy on that move. Obviously, I do think this is an upgrade. I'm not a fan of Courtland Sutton, so I think that's an upgrade because I believe Sutton was their number one. So this should be their new number one, right?
How come you don't like Sutton?
I'm not a fan of him. I think he's not a true number one wide receiver. I just feel like he's a good maybe number two. And if Waddle can come in and be the number one, then maybe Sutton can really pop off. I just don't think that he's that guy to lead in the wide receiver room for Denver. So
how many games did he cost you? Let's keep it a buck. How many times did you rely on him and he just put up 2 points?
It wasn't this past season, but in seasons past, yes.
Do not draft list. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to go there. I don't want to tie it to fantasy yet, but yes, he's done me dirty a couple of times. So,
well, we thought he was ascending, right? That was kind of the Courtland Sutton. They get rid of the other receiver was there, and you thought he was going to take off. And does he have a similar trajectory as Jalen Waddle? We thought
it
Waddle
could
was going to
be.
be the guy, like you said. Treat gets hurt, Waddle's going to be the guy, and so I wonder, do they now have 2 number 2s? I guess we'll see.
It could be, and that's another thing. It could be because obviously Waddle still was number 2 even after Hill went down. He still looked like a number 2, like a decent number 2, right? But as the go-to guy, but it could have been the quarterback situation. So we'll see with Bo Nix. I'm not a fan of Bo Nix either, so we'll see what happens there. But needless to say, obviously they're putting their money into Bo Nix. They're hoping this move is the right move for them because we saw that they needed some offense. So it could pan out, but it's crazy that their odds to win the division, the AFC West, is the exact same after the trade. So it's
it didn't change it at all?
It didn't change, no.
Oh, interesting.
The Chiefs are favored plus 180. The Chargers are actually plus 180 as well, and then the Broncos are plus 200.
The Chiefs are favored.
Yes.
Interesting. Mahomes being hurt, they had to revamp their secondary. I don't think they're done with that yet because the Rams stole their 2 cornerbacks who are really good. Interesting.
Right. They did sign, or they traded for Fields too, which we haven't talked on.
Well, yeah, Justin Fields.
They traded for Fields, so that's a
good backup. I'll take it. Yeah.
I think it's a good bridge.
Run plays.
Sure.
There you go.
Quarterback sneaks back on the menu.
Hey, but how much will that take away from K9 now? Because he signed because he was going to be the top rusher, right?
So maybe that is what they're pushing the Chiefs up with. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I was forgetting about that signing. Maybe they're banking on riding K9. I don't know. I think there's a lot of question marks
to the IR, so we'll see.
But yeah, it's I don't know. To me, it's gonna be an interesting move for Denver. But if Waddle pays off, which I do think he's an upgrade from Sutton, but if it pays off, I think it could be a pretty good deal for Denver. But
Waddle's more explosive, right? He's faster, more big playability. Yeah.
But his receptions and his total yards have gone down year after year for like 2 or 3 seasons now. So that's a not a good sign for you to trade for somebody like that.
Make a decision now. Where do you draft Waddle? Where do you draft Sutton? What round do you kind of thinking?
What place am I shooting for? 10th or 1st?
You're hoping to redeem yourself and get out of the cellar.
Or do I want to repeat? I mean, back to back.
Hey, I'm cool with you repeating. Go for it.
I'm okay with that too.
Bunch of quitters.
Or how about this? Wide receiver 1, 2, 3. Are you okay with Waddle as your number 2? Definitely not your number 1. It sounds like.
Nah, Waddle wouldn't be my number 1. I would say 2 to 3. I would probably be more comfortable with a 3.
We think around 6, 7,
as early as late 5th, maybe.
Okay,
maybe. Yeah, actually 6 sounds a little better. Actually.
Yeah.
What about you?
Probably 6, 7.
Yeah, I hear it. I'm too old to do that, but I hear it. We've done it. The 6, 7 things.
I didn't even mean to. Hey,
I didn't catch it either.
Hey.
I didn't even catch it.
It happened twice, and neither one of you reacted. And I'm like, oh man, I got teenagers in my house. I'm pretty sure. Well, I haven't done it, but I'm pretty sure my son and his friends said I'm too old to do that. So I tried to listen. I do. So this fantasy wise, there's a lot in this. So I was, before the season started last year, I was really high on Bo Nix. And I'll tell you, because the previous year, Bo Nix is a rookie, Drake May is a rookie. I ended up picking both those guys up in one of my leagues. And they both would produce a lot because of their legs. They would just take off running. And then I was higher on Bo Nix as the season started because he just had more weapons. When you looked at the Patriots, who did he have? Who did Drake May have when the season started? Used underwear, Stephon Diggs. Like, we don't know, is he going to be healthy? It has a pretty decent season. Hunter Henry, Aaron's favorite. I was high on Travion Henderson. So, but neither one of those guys, I think, in terms of what I was expecting them to do. So I drafted Bo Nix in my league, a 14-team league. And man, if you were paying attention to Denver games, there'd be like nothing. And then there'd be this explosion in the second half. And so he would have these productive moments. I would be open to drafting Nix again. I think Waddle just gives him more weapons, and I'm expecting he will continue to improve and get better. But he's a quarterback at this point for me. I'm going to wait to draft my quarterback. So I just think he moves it up a little bit for me for Bo Nix. But I was completely wrong. I didn't even have Drake May on my list to draft. It's like I'll pick him up, and he was the number 2 quarterback, I think, for the season. So what do I know?
Yeah, I think I drafted Bo Nix for my guillotine league, the one that I mentioned where someone gets chopped every week, and he did good for me at the start, and he was good enough for me to keep moving along and not really have to worry about the quarterback situation. But then I believe he kind of started getting hurt or something happened after he had like a big explosion on one particular game, and then that's when I moved on from him, and I ended up picking up. Who was it? I picked up somebody, and then I ended up with Josh Allen. I picked him up when he became a free agent when the person got chopped, so I picked him up. But then I just had a bad week, and it just all went downhill. But Bo Nix got me through at least the first half of that season, so I wouldn't mind maybe gambling on him if it's a late like pick, and I don't have a quarterback that I could probably trust. Then I would probably look his way and draft him, or as a backup. But I really don't like to look at backups or have a backup quarterback to start the season. I usually just wait until bye weeks or, injuries, whatever the case is, and then pick up a quarterback and maybe stream. So I think it just depends, but I would say I could probably depend on Nix a little bit more this season just because he has another weapon, like you said.
Interesting. So now that you know Justin Fields is with a winning organization, are you more incentivized to run it back with him? I mean, on the Jets, you just loved him. You absolutely loved him. So imagine him on the Chiefs, right?
I did. I got to give him a chance then.
I mean, Patrick may not be back to start the season, right? So then Fields will be running the show.
If I get Fields, it would probably be for the beginning of the season, and that's it. Once Mahomes is back, obviously, I'm done.
And if that happens, Justin Fields, it will be 3 years in a row. He's the opening day quarterback for 3 different teams.
True.
So he's Steelers last year, Jets, and then potentially Chiefs this year.
Adding to the legacy.
Right. Right. And he's played well on opening days. I'm pretty sure both opening days for the Steelers and the Jets, people are like, oh man, this guy's going to be a fantasy dynamo. And we know what happened.
Yeah.
Rose knows what happened.
I had a first row seat to
it. And then what do you think, Dolphins? Like, what's your reaction to the Dolphins? Because I'm giving them a wedgie. I'm so confused. I feel bad for their coach who did he know they were going to do this? I feel bad for Malik Willis. He finally gets a shot to be the starting quarterback, and we left the H-hand, but are they going to trade him? I don't know.
That was my next question. Are they going to trade him? Because if they do, what's left? Like, you're setting up, Willis to fail, really, because there's no one for him to throw to unless they somehow hit in the draft. I don't even know what draft picks they have this year, but I think they have some of the most, if I'm not mistaken. But they got to hit on those.
Yeah,
they haven't really signed any free agents, anybody that really stands out. So you're ideally playing with your third string wide receiver as your number one, a running back that might get traded. And if he doesn't, then you go with the backup. So who are you really throwing to, and who are you really banking your future on? Because if they wouldn't have signed Willis, I think we would have been like, okay, they're rebuilding and that's that, right?
Totally.
And with all this dead cap, like, I get it, and that would have made more sense. But what they're doing, just because they signed him, that already kind of, I don't know, it makes no sense to me.
Do either of you know a Dolphin fan? I do, but I need to track down their phone number. I'm just curious what they think.
I haven't been one for years. It's been a very long time.
I don't think I know any Dolphin fans. I know some of my neighbors around here have a Dolphins flag, so maybe I'll go knock on their door and ask.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about all the dead cap space?
That'll be an excellent segment for the pod. Make sure it's live.
Right. Record.
Now, Roski, do you have Puka news that you wanted to
I do.
share?
Speaking of wedgies, I just saw this. It was breaking news pretty much. I know we kind of talked a little bit about it, but you guys don't know. But he's being accused of biting a woman and making anti-Semitic remarks at an outing in December. And Puka basically already denied it. He already said that he didn't, he denied saying anything in particular, and also says that he didn't, bite and that it was horseplay. But I mean, this is in addition to all this other stuff that's been happening with Puka towards the end of last season. and the beginning of this offseason. And I was having a conversation with my buddy Caesar, as always, about
Caesar.
Football, and his team is the Rams, like I mentioned in the past. And he's concerned, one, obviously for Puka, but two, that the Rams aren't even going to re-sign him from his rookie extension because of all this drama. Yeah, the risk. And JSN just got paid. I mean, we haven't talked about that, but he got paid. He's
$120 million guaranteed. Wow,
Yeah.
good for you, Jason.
Yeah, highest paid wide receiver in history. So
It's making like $1 million less than Patrick Mahomes, something like that. Like the
something like
wide
that.
receiver market is getting crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's Puka gonna command? Because he's up there. He's in the same tier as JSN. We talked about that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He's there. Obviously, it's
43 a year.
Yeah, he's a little
And
bit
he
more.
hasn't made any money either.
Exactly.
He was a fifth round pick.
Yeah, fifth round. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's gonna get paid for sure. Someone's gonna pay him regardless. But he's in that tier with JSN, right? So if he just got paid, that means Puka's got to get around there, or maybe even a little more by the time he actually gets that contract, right? Which I don't know if it's this season or next season, but I know he's up for it, right? So what do the Rams do now? Do you now shift gears and look in the draft? Because we heard, I don't know if you guys heard, but AJ Brown is also linked to him, and they were looking into trading for him. So if they do that, do they then let Puka walk, or do they trade Puka? Do they trade Puka now with all this stuff?
I was hearing they were going to get rid of Devontae Adams if Brown was going to come in. But again, it's rumors. It's rumors that are out there.
But now it's like, what are they going to do? Like, because this, I mean, it's been a trend now. This is like and where's his mental state? Is he going to end up being the next Antonio Brown, again? Like,
because it feels like he's I think I said it when we met 2 weeks ago, or maybe before that. It feels like this is like the drunk frat boy Puka.
Yeah.
If this stuff is true, if all these things he's doing
it's all
is true.
allegations, obviously, right? Yeah. But you are putting yourself in situations already just with the fact that there's allegations, right? So as a professional athlete, you have to realize I'm putting myself in situations that could potentially hinder my career, not just my team, my contract, whatever, my career. You're making a living out of this. So, and people look up to you. So you got to be careful with what you're doing. Your actions speak louder than your words, right? So if you're saying, oh, I apologize, but yeah, you're doing, things that are questionable, what was that look? So to me, I don't know. I give a wedgie to Puka right now because he needs to get himself straight. He needs to get himself back on track and just stay out of the news. Because I mean, it seems like every month we hear something on him, and it's not a good thing, So, and he's good. He's a stud, man. I saw him.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw him play live, and man, that kid is good. He's fast. He does everything for that team. I mean, I've raved about him all season. Being a part of my team's
matchup nightmare.
I would hate for his career to go spiraling downhill because he's talented. He really is.
Well, and think about how much money it would impact. Not only if this stuff comes to light, he probably won't make as much money, but think of all the sponsorships. I mean, he's like everywhere, so people are going to want to pay him. But once this stuff, if it's continues and we find out this stuff is true, it makes me wonder though, has he gotten a number of concussions and we're starting to see CTE, or have the Rams kept this under wraps, and now that he's a superstar, he kind of feels emblazoned to like, I'm going to be me.
Could be.
Yeah.
Feels like we have a super trade on our hands. I'd love to see that in Dallas. Jerry keeps saying he's going to make a big splash. He loves these unique players, we'll call them, with their eccentric identities outside of the football field.
Imagine CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, and Puka. Oh my God, that's a defense nightmare.
So so that happens. Where do you draft Dak?
Oh, first round pick, first overall.
First round pick.
Nah, probably a high pick though. I would kind of have to maybe. Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that's the first quarterback off the board because obviously Josh Allen's still there, but maybe a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah,
I think because those weapons. I mean, if he does not do well with that receiver group.
Well, didn't he finish top 5 this year? I mean, he was way up there because we talked about no one drafted him, and I think
he ended up there. I think,
I think Rudy picked him up.
Yeah,
Santa's little helper. Well, how excited are you for Kyler Murray going to the Minnesota Vikings?
I'm very excited. I think it's a great fit. Honestly, like going from JJ McCarthy to Kyler the Mortal Murray, like it's going to be amazing.
I
The
like that
potential's
nickname.
off. Pat opinion on that one. The potential is off the charts. I mean, they have an offensive guru-ish type
Yep.
person who transformed to Sam Darnold. Couldn't do anything with JJ McCarthy, but like I would say Kyler showed more inherent potential than Sam Darnold did early on.
For sure.
You know, Sam's
Yeah.
capitalized more on it as of late, maybe because it's a better team, better organization. But like Kyler's gonna have a shot to be with a great organization, a great team, great offensive scheme. See what he can really do. So I mean, it has potential to be awesome. And so that's a tough pick right there. Like, does Kyler go undrafted? Do you pick him up? Do you take the flyer on him? I mean,
Yeah,
I might.
if you know he's won the starting job, yeah, do you draft him?
Yeah. Oh, that's his job. There's no way. There's no handshake. I mean, Broski, you might have to dig into your resources, but like, there's no way. There's not a wink handshake deal saying that you are the week 1 starter. There's no chance JJ McCarthy starting.
There was a report. I don't know if it's true or not, but I did see a report. It's not my inside sources that usually, I come with, but this was a report that came out that said that he actually put that on the table. If he was not going to be the starter, he was not signing with Minnesota.
Interesting.
Supposedly there is that rumor, but I don't know if it's true or not. But this is a smart move for both of them, the organization and for him. If he fails, he's done with football. There's absolutely no way he can be a starting quarterback in any team, because this is like the perfect situation to revive his career, basically, and to actually save his career in football. For the Vikings, I mean, this is a huge upgrade from McCarthy, and this is going to be their chance to hopefully make a Super Bowl run. That's what they're banking on, a Super Bowl run, saving money, because Kyler is coming in with the minimum. So they're saving money on the quarterback position. They don't have to worry about that right now. And if he does do well and they decide to re-sign him and keep him, then that's a problem for, next season or the year after. But this is, I think, a win-win for both teams.
Yeah, I thought it was a smart signing on Kyler's part for sure. You've Justin Jefferson, you Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, running backs, it's Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason. I want to say they brought somebody else in too. I think that was really smart. Aaron, like you said, Kevin O'Connell, I'm doubting myself on everyone's first name today. I think it's Kevin O'Connell, their head coach. He's like he's like an offensive genius. Sam Darnold, but also that was Daniel Jones' last stop before he went to Indianapolis. So you've seen it now with 2 quarterbacks where they go there and then we get the best of them the season right after. I mean, Darnold was awesome in that season with Minnesota, but yeah, this is smart. I know we had for Kyler, we talked about Kyler going to Pittsburgh, which I thought that'd have been a good move too. And the Steelers might have missed out. I know that I like to bag on Kyler and playing video games and all that stuff, but the potential's there he's got the attributes. Sometimes I just think it's up here. Does he have that leadership quality that you want in a quarterback? We haven't seen it yet, but this is a good move.
Yeah.
I mean, quarterbacks that can run fantasy wise, I'm always intrigued to get them because they could be having a bad day throwing. They could be playing in the snow, you name it, and then they could run. And next thing you know, I've seen Kyler break off 50-yard runs against the 49ers. That SOB, but good for him.
Well, running in his own tutties, that's some free points there often.
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because I believe this is the first time Kevin O'Connell is going to have a rushing quarterback, somebody that's mobile. So he did what he did with Sam Darnold. He did what he did with, all these other quarterbacks. So I'm interested to see what he can do with Kyler. So and again, it's a win-win. If it fails, then they both lost, obviously, but Minnesota just turns to maybe McCarthy again and see what happens. I mean, they got to figure something out if it doesn't pan out. But I mean, I think it's a safe gamble. They're not going to pay him much anyways.
They're probably hoping that this is going to push JJ McCarthy too, or maybe they've already figured out like this is not our guy, because I heard they're bringing Carson Wentz back too.
Oh,
so you got Wentz, McCarthy, Murray. We know Murray's going to make the roster, but yeah, I wonder if they're going to move on from McCarthy. Interesting. When you look at the other quarterbacks that were drafted with McCarthy, even though he got hurt, he looks, wow, real bad.
Yeah,
he sunk my fantasy season with me taking Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson, and painful.
And isn't that crazy though? Like how bad Jefferson did fantasy wise, just because he didn't have a reliable quarterback.
Yep,
that's nuts. When Jefferson's probably one of the Well, he was probably the top 3 wide receivers for fantasy wise, last year. And now, I mean, the year prior, obviously, but now he's probably not even in the top 10 right now because people are wondering what's going to happen. Yeah.
Not that I want to give him credit again, but Aaron and the commish called it when we did our draft review before the season started. They called it, and I wanted them to be wrong so bad. Once again, I was wrong. Painful.
It's all right. Yeah. You can listen to the advice next time. Watch the pod, actually, and just review the pod, and then you'll get all the fantasy advice you need. BC Playmakers.
I'll delete all of my stuff when I'm talking and just go to everyone else.
Just watch everybody else.
Now, what about this one? I couldn't believe we didn't have it on the list last time because this happened right before free agency opened, but I'm pretty sure David Montgomery gets traded to the Texans. So what do you think about that move?
I'm unimpressed, uninspired.
You had him.
I've had David Montgomery the last 2 years in a row. Last year was very bad. When you watch the games before of Sonic and Knuckles, they're called a little bit. It's up the gut, 1 yard, 2 yards at a clip every single time. And maybe it's offensive coordinator not being inspiring or the skill capacity of Montgomery himself, but it's just like when you watch it and you have him on your team, you're all, this is terrible. And going with CJ Stroud, who's on lifeline, so to speak, he could be the next Kyler Murray we're talking about next year. I mean, I just don't think it moves the needle any direction at all.
Now let's do this because you had him 2 years in a row. Your championship year, how did he do for you?
Well, my championship year, I had a squad though. So like he was probably like my 4th string running back. At Bucky, Jonathan Taylor, Montgomery, and one other big dog. I can't remember. And the thing is on Yahoo or Fans for Yahoo, I can't look my old squad, but I literally had like
you were stacked.
5 dogs.
Yeah. Dang.
But if he was your 4th guy, I guess the question I want to know is why'd you draft him again?
I mean,
Pressure.
I won with him, so I'm like, okay, we'll run it back. Like, see if I can get bring the band back together.
And it might have been, where you drafted him. I don't remember where you drafted him, but you might have been a later pick. It was probably the best available too at that position.
I had a 1st round. I was number 1 pick. I drafted him 1st overall.
Whatever. I meant last season. Crazy. No, you were living good with your Ravens before that guy, so
I mean, on the year I won.
Yeah.
Well, no, and I tell you, I had Taylor, Irving, Montgomery, and Bijan. Like I had a monster of a running back. Yeah, like it was insane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
I hustled the people in that league. Yeah, like those guys, the people in that league didn't know what they were doing.
I was one of the people in the league. I initially am like, oh, that's cool for Montgomery. He'll probably get more touches now. But if CJ Stroud doesn't fix anything, he needs a quarterback whisperer. They're just going to stack the line against the Texans, and so it could be Woody Marks back there. It could be who's the other guy they had. They just had a revolving door of running backs, and sometimes they were good. But Woody Marks is more explosive than Montgomery. But maybe they're going to do their version of Sonic and Knuckles. I don't know, but Montgomery will move up a little bit for me potentially. He might have been on my no draft list last year because Gibbs is so good. Like you could just see it coming. Like eventually Gibbs is going to get the lion's share of these carries. It just was building and building. He's just so explosive. And so, but yeah, I'd probably move him up a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same boat. I think now that he's going to have the number 1 spot, I think fantasy wise, he goes a little higher for me too. I wouldn't say I would take him as one of my top picks, but 5th round, I think I'd be okay with that, depending obviously what my team's looking like. But you guys talked about Bijan. Did you guys see who the Falcons just signed as their backup?
Who?
Brian Robinson.
Good.
So now they have Bijan. So B-Rob and B-Rob is on the same team. So be careful when you do your drafts.
Well, and Aaron was trying to trade Brian Robinson Jr. for a superstar.
So just be careful this time around because they're all on the same team. So
they're going to have some lineups where they're both in the backfield too. That's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
B-Rob.
All right, let's call it right now. If someone accidentally drafts the wrong one, are you letting them off the hook and redoing it, or are you stuck with it?
Dude, they get a wedgie on this podcast if they draft the wrong one. I mean, come on, that's
for sure.
That'll be pathetic.
They have to. The only way we'll rescind it is they have to get an actual wedgie, and they have to go. They have to go ghost hunting with me.
And they have to come on the pod. They got to come on the pod with us if they do that too.
Yeah, there you go.
15-minute wedgie, and we'll give them a real wedgie. It will be,
Yes.
it'll
I
be
meant a real one.
Atomic.
all together pod. Yeah. I don't, I like the signing of Brian Robinson. That's smart. He was decent for the 49ers. He didn't get a lot of touches, but when they used him as a kick returner too. He did all right. I was surprised by that because I see him more as a power back, but I figured he had good hands. And then Sky Moore was back there for the Niners too. But yeah, I don't know. The Montgomery in our league, he would not be drafted as a starter for me. In my 14-team league, I definitely would draft him as a starter.
Oh, yeah.
Be like potentially my running back too, or be utility guy.
But he would have the potential to be a number 2 guy for sure if everything pans out. He wouldn't be the top, your top running back. If you do, then you have injuries or you have a problem there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few when we recorded 2 weeks ago that we were running out of time, so I did like a speed round, but I figure we should give a full analysis to them. So how about Wan'Dale Robinson to the Titans?
Yep. The Titans are doing some things over there. Like
I like it.
Yeah, they're building the coaching staff. They're bringing in some right players. They have that cap room. Chris gave him the seal of approval, saying that's the number 1 team he would want to join if he had any opportunity. And so, I like it. Wan'Dale, honestly, he wasn't the best wide receiver fantasy-wise, but he was surprisingly, he would give me 20 points every here and there, and as my wide receiver 3, who ended up being sometimes 1 or 2, he did well. So I think it's a solid move. Good for them. We'll see what the Titans do this season.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think sometimes I don't even remember who's on the Titans. I remember Calvin Ridley was there. Obviously, he didn't do much. He had his.
Someone's got to say it. Remember the Titans. We just had to.
There you go.
You just had to.
I do like the new uniforms tribute to the Houston Oilers, who they were before they moved to Tennessee.
Oh.
Now, we'll get into that in a later one, but the Houston Oilers were my AFC team as a kid. Niner fan, and then Warren Moon. If you haven't watched clips of Warren Moon, love that guy. We'll talk about the Oilers in an upcoming podcast because it's when they changed the colors for the upcoming season, it grabbed a whole bunch of nostalgia for me.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that, but yeah, I like the move for the Titans to get Wan'Dale because he showed what he could do once. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. What's the wide receiver from the Giants again? The one that got hurt? Neighbors. Yeah, Malik Neighbors. I can't believe I can't remember. Yeah, when he went down, he stepped up and he did really good with Jackson Dart, So they had a good connection, and obviously now I don't know if he'll be the number 1 straight up in Tennessee. But if he's the number 2, I think that's a good number 2 to have. I don't think he can carry the load for a full number 1 all season long, but he did decent when Neighbors went down. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I like what the Titans are doing. They're using their cap space and it's good. It's in a very positive way. And obviously I think all the moves they've been making overall, the head coach and everything, there's a clear direction, not like the Dolphins for sure.
Well,
2 different trajectories.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
On NFL.com, they asked the question, who had the best offseason so far? So there's 3 teams, the Titans, the Panthers, and the Raiders. So
the Panthers are doing some good moves, too.
Yeah, and you gave credit to the Raiders, I think, last time. You like what the Raiders are doing, too. So
wait, the Raiders had the best offseason? They're saying?
That it was a question to their analysts, and so I think 2 people picked the Raiders, 2 picked the Titans, and 2 picked the Panthers.
What have the Raiders done besides get screwed on a trade?
They brought in a lot of defensive players, linebackers, offensive linemen, got a stud center for everyone is confident, Fernando Mendoza. So just kind of building around Mendoza.
Well, they did have a bunch of defensive players. That really helped.
Yeah, but they've been spending money.
The Texans. So good job. Historic defense can't win championship. Excellent move, Raiders. Keep it up.
Yeah, I do like Wan'Dale. He's going over there. The Titans have those 2 rookie receivers. DK, who's an electric return man, but he was pretty good lining up as a wide receiver. And then Eric Iamor, something like that. So they have those 2 rookies that, there's potential. If Cam Ward progresses and gets more weapons, it could be an interesting offense. The Wandale, draft him. Would I be happy as my number 2? I don't know. My number 3, sure, but my number 2, I don't
3,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
3 safe.
Well, who do
Well,
you draft higher then? Do you draft Wandale Robinson, or you draft Romeo Dobbs, who now went to the Patriots? What do you think of that
Dobbs.
one? Going Dobbs?
Absolutely, because I mean, think about it. You're not really drafting the wide receiver. You're drafting the quarterback again. Because look at Jefferson, right? I mean, Jefferson couldn't do anything because of the quarterback. That's all on him.
Fair point.
And so, like, I trust the Patriots quarterback more than I do the Titans.
It's actually a good point. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, but that makes sense. I mean, I was leaning more towards Wandale, but you made a valid point. You made a really good point. And I mean, Wandale might be the number 1. He might not. Dobbs right now is number 1 for sure.
Right now, yeah.
If they trade for AJ Brown, could also still be a good thing for him because it could still open up, more opportunities for him, with the focus on AJ Brown. So it's but I like your take. I like your take on your kind of drafting the quarterback per se. And obviously, yeah, Drake May is a lot better than Cam Morton.
Yeah, Dobbs is talented. I have the question marks about him. I definitely think he's a bigger name than Wandale is. I have the Green Bay history of all those receivers that just like spread the ball around. And so you'd have moments where Dobbs was killing it, and then it was Jalen Reed, and then it was Christian Watson. And so the consistency, I don't think, will be the same with the Patriots. Dobbs will either be their number 1. I think they're going to bring in another guy, so he'll probably be their number 2. And then you have the other guys like Matt Collins and whoever else they're going to have there. The Booty's still going to Keyshawn or whatever his name is. Okay, how about Kenneth Gainwell had that huge season with the Steelers. I think he was their leading receiver. He gets going over to the Buccaneers. How do you feel about that?
Right.
Baker's him. I mean, I would take Baker right now over Aaron Rodgers from last year.
100%.
Again,
Yes.
If we're going by the theory of drafting the quarterback, he should have even more of a breakout year. Evans is gone, so I mean, he's 1, wide receiver 1 probably, or something along those lines. So, and you're not in Pittsburgh. That's a plus. So, I would say that is a definite upgrade, and that would be an interesting pickup. Like, where do you draft someone? I don't know. All these wide receiver changes are the interesting moves for fantasy wise. Like, where am I going to be drafting and picking these people up?
I tricked you unintentionally. So Kenneth Gainwell is a running back, but he's a receiving running back, and so he ended up being the leading guy for Pittsburgh last year. Well, so I would imagine Tampa Bay will use him similarly, but does he?
Well, the Bucky. Then,
how does he impact Bucky? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bucky didn't do so hot last year, which was like I did, bringing back Montgomery, bringing back Bucky. I wanted so bad to draft Bijan number 1 just to bring the whole squad back, but like
roll it back.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if we're going back to fantasy wise, like, we're splitting touches then, and I don't like that. So
yeah,
we'll see if Bucky moves forward from what he did last season because he got injured, right? I mean, there's not much you can do about that, even though I couldn't put him on the IR the whole season. But we'll say that the jury's still out for me on that one. I don't know what I do with
I'd like to see them. I mean, I'd like to see them have Bucky and Gainwell both in that backfield, just to give you different looks, and then Gainwell has such good hands, split him out, have him in the slot, have him in where he's running routes. I mean, I think not having Mike Evans, there's some things they could do, get creative. I don't know who their offensive coordinator is. They could get creative. He's definitely a weapon.
I kind of see it like a safety net for the Buccaneers because of Bucky's injuries.
Sure.
Because, he missed a pretty big chunk last season. So it's kind of like, how is his injuries like really a concern, and that's why they're bringing in Gainwell, or are they trying to mix it up a little bit and try to do something creative, like you said? So right now I'm seeing it like a safety net because I don't know what to make of Bucky's injuries this past season. He missed a lot of time, so it would make me if Bucky's healthy, then yeah, for fantasy he's one of the top running backs I think, and maybe you're borderline number 1, number 2. But if he's hurt, then Gainwell's I think a good safety net. We saw what he did with the Steelers, so it's going to be an interesting situation. But I think once I know a little bit more, I think I would be more, fantasy wise to make a decision what I would want to do. But I might want to stay away as of right now because I don't know what, and I'm talking about staying away from both of them because I don't know what to really make of that situation until we get maybe a little more clarity.
So Rashard White signs to Washington. He's a commander now. So is Gainwell going to fill that role where White was really only relevant when Bucky went down? But then they brought in Sean Brooks. Was that his name?
Oh my God, what was his name?
I'm getting old. I can't remember anyone's name.
Tucker?
There you go. Sean Tucker. Not even close to Brooks. I don't know where Sean Brooks came from.
I was going to say Sean Taylor, but I'm like, that's not right.
But Tucker had a couple big games, and so then you didn't know, if I have Tucker, which I did in one league, don't ask who I can't remember his name, are you going to start him? Because then you would, and then White would be the guy that had the bigger game. So it's hard to figure out who had the hot hand. The Commanders also signed Jerome Brown, so they got Jerome Brown and Rashawn White.
Who was their starter last season?
Dude, they had so Austin Eckler was their starter. He got hurt early on.
He got hurt, yeah, that's right.
A lot of people were high on Bill Krosky Merritt. Didn't really pan out. I think he had 1 or 2 big games. They had Chris Rodriguez, but he moved on. He's on another team now.
If you were I had Rashad White for a little bit last season when Bucky went down. He had 1 good game and that was it. So I can't trust him. And out of that running group, I mean, they'll probably run a committee and I wouldn't even know who to pick. No. I will definitely stay away in that situation because, I don't like any of those guys.
Well, yeah, Ford was the guy in Cleveland for a little bit, but I think he had injuries. And then here comes Quinshon Judkins, and we didn't even see Jerome last year, really.
True.
But the big one, does Emmanuel Wilson, can he fill canine shoes in Seattle? So Emmanuel Wilson, right, he had a couple decent games when the Green Bay running back gets hurt. The starter, what's his name? Josh Jacobs gets hurt. Here comes Emmanuel Wilson, and now he's going to split carries maybe when Charbonnet comes back. Aaron, why don't you take it? You're a lifelong fan. Why don't you let us know how you feel about Emmanuel Wilson? You got the jersey coming? It's going to be delivered?
I will order it once they win again, if they repeat. So I kind of, I'm hedging my bets there.
That's a lot of
the organizational structure of the coaching impact really will determine what the running back room looks like. So, we play to win. We're not out there trying to get individual points and accolades. We go out there to get championships. That's what we'll be doing in Seattle. Shout out to the NBA too, bringing the team back. Hey, we appreciate it. Might be
I heard about that. Yeah,
I didn't hear the Supersonics are coming back.
They might.
They're I can't remember the expansion. Them and Vegas are the targeted expansion teams.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Yeah, but it's crazy because there's like I don't know how many investment groups or whatever they're called into Vegas, and then there's only one for Seattle. So everybody wants to get a franchise in Vegas, but the Seattle, I think there's only one, and they're from Seattle or something like that. So they're interested in bringing back the Sonics. But the value is crazy because the valuation for the franchise is between 7 to 10 billion. Whoa. And everyone's like, who's going to pay 10 billion for Seattle? Right? Yeah. Everyone's saying, Vegas is totally doable. Well, the thing is, because everybody wants Vegas and that's a hot, ticket, it's raising the valuation of a franchise. And because Seattle's coming in at the same time, now they're, so now it's like they're going to have to overpay to bring the Sonics back. But in reality, it's basically for Vegas, really,
Going back to what you said about Wilson, it actually made me pivot and think of Gibbs, going back on that one. So, do you think Gibbs will have a better season now that Knuckles is gone and not having that person beating up that defensive line, or does he pop out even more because they have to lean on him even more?
I think it's same. They got to bring somebody in as like a change of pace back, but I think it'll be the same.
I would say still number 2. I still think Bijan is number 1.
Oh yeah.
As far as the running back position, I think Gibbs is number 2, but it's like a very close Puka and JSN situation, and I've always said it. Injuries with running backs is almost inevitable because of how much their bodies take from the tackles and everything that they're going through. So, and going through the lines, so.
Supersonics, just I want to, because you guys, again, nostalgia. Are you guys old enough to remember Sean Kemp and Gary Payton and Detlef Schrempf and those guys?
Come on, baby.
Of course.
Love. Man, they were fun. They were fun to watch.
Yeah.
Supersonics. Who they moved and became the Oklahoma City Thunder? Is that where
The
they went?
Thunder. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
The Thunder. But the history of the Sonics stayed in Seattle. So they rebranded to Thunder. They like the history and everything belongs to Seattle. Yeah. So the Thunder, technically, if like the Sonics come back, I believe Kevin Durant technically played for two different teams at that point again. So it's not like considered the Thunder and the Sonics as one anymore. It's considered two different franchises, I believe, or something like that.
How many teams
Charlotte Hornets
to play
became the Pelicans?
No,
all of them.
So
all of them.
The Hornets were the Bobcats.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, because
then where did they go?
So the Hornets moved from okay, let me backtrack. So the Hornets moved to New Orleans and became the New Orleans Hornets. But then it was like the whole Seattle thing, and they rebranded to the Pelicans. And actually, I think that's when the Saints owner bought the team. They rebranded, they changed it to Pelicans, and basically that, at that point, Charlotte had a franchise, and they had named them the Bobcats because the Hornets were in New Orleans now. So, a mess. Yeah. And once the rebrand happened with the Pelicans, they basically brought the rights back for the Hornets. So they became from Bobcats back to Hornets, and the history came back to Charlotte, but it's technically not the original Charlotte Hornets. It's the Charlotte Bobcats, and the Hornets are actually the Pelicans. Better. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, yeah. So the two big stars I think of is Alonzo Mourning and then Grandmama Larry Johnson. I mean, those were, again, fun teams to watch when they had those superstars. And
now we got LaMelo Ball. Let's go. Big baller brand.
Big baller brand.
Yeah.
Hey, that other rookie, Canupo or whatever his name is, he's about to break the record for threes.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's about to break the record, but for rookies, I think he's close. Okay. He's like, I don't know how many threes he's dropped, but it was supposed to be a one-man show for Rookie of the Year with Cooper Flag, and now it's like he's the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. So I don't watch much Hornet games, so I don't know how good he is, but yeah.
All right, this should be a back to football. This was a tough question for me, and I wasn't able to answer it, so I'm cheating. I looked it up on my phone. Who can you name one Jacksonville Jaguar running back now that Etienne's in New Orleans?
Oh, and it's pronounced Achane, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw
it's
that.
It's Achane as well. I saw.
Achane,
interesting.
Yeah. So we got
because he said guys. People would mispronounce it, so he just said it.
He just
it's
stuck with
ETN. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he clarified that it's actually Achane. Yeah.
So we had two HNs spelled totally different.
Jaguars running back.
I couldn't figure it out, but now that I see it, I'm like, all right.
I feel like I have it, but I can't remember his freaking name.
I'll give you one because I didn't remember when we were talking about the Commanders. Chris Rodriguez Jr. went over to Jacksonville.
He went over there. Okay.
Yeah, so that's one. They also drafted a rookie last year, if that helps you out. He did get some playing time.
That's who I was thinking of. But
yeah.
What's his name?
Bayshaw.
Oh my god. But it's oh my god. Tootin. There you go.
Yeah. You drafted any Jaguars next year? Where do you draft Tootin? I guess because they have DJ Dallas, so he went over there too. He re-signed. And then they have LeQuint Allen Jr. I've never heard of him.
I mean, if anybody is worth it, it's Tootin, but maybe a free agent? I wouldn't draft him, I don't think. But he's probably going to be the starter, though. So, he had some opportunity last season, and he didn't. There's like inconsistencies there. So,
I picked him up in a couple leagues. I had him for a short amount of time.
Yeah, I think I picked them up for a little bit too, as a backup for when Achane got hurt, because that's when I picked him up, and I think he was like borderline going to be out, and then I picked up Tootin, but then I never played him, and he never did, that great. So I don't know. So I think a good free agency move if you really need a running back and desperate, but
if you're going to get the lion's share and Trevor Lawrence plays like he did, Tootin might be.
That's true.
I mean, we'll see. Are they going to draft a running back? Probably.
Yeah, probably
he'll climb up the rankings if he's going to be the. What's that?
You're going to draft their defense? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Hey.
And then try to trade him.
Hunter. Oh my God, Travis Hunter. Yeah, he's going full-time DB. So.
Oh, is that confirmed? Full-time DB, not a receiver anymore?
I mean, I don't have the same, inside scoop as Roski, but I was hearing from my people that they're going to go heavily into the DB area. So. We'll see.
Chelsea has the insider scoop too. We should double check with her sources.
Yeah.
NFL Insider. All right, I have more football questions, but we could pivot. We got about 10 minutes left. Roski, do you have another ghost story you want to share, or do you want to go continue football?
I do. I mean, if you guys want to do it now, or you want to wait till the end, I have 2 mini stories. I'll clarify because
We got
I don't
10
want to.
minutes, man. So you can
Yeah.
close us
All
out
right.
with a ghost story.
All right. Let's start with the mini story. So, this is so I talked about the house in Oxnard that I used to live in, as an adult. I talked about my childhood home, which is the one where the old lady passed, where I didn't know about, any of that until my parents, and we moved out. My parents, told me after the fact, all that. But this is basically my junior high to high school to a young adult home. And so I have a couple stories there, but they're all mini stories, but I'll tell you kind of just one, and then a story that's not mine. It's actually from my parents. But I was there, but I didn't experience what they experienced. But we'll start with mine. So when you walk into this house, it's literally the living room right away. And then on the left-hand side of that living room, there's a stairs to go up to the second floor. And so after the living room, there's a kitchen, right? So, and then the layout of the house used to have a wall. Now the wall's gone, but before it used to be a wall between the living room and the kitchen. So there's an opening, an arch, and then if you go through that arch, to the right is the kitchen, to the left was the garage, right? And the stairs were right before that on the left-hand side, right? So a lot of the times, for whatever reason, whenever I was in the living room and I was watching TV, I had an peripheral vision of that archway. And a lot of times I would see things out of the corner of my eye, like going from the kitchen to the garage, like just like that, right? And I never really could capture what it was, but I would just see like out of the corner of my eye something moving, right? And then one day, talking to my sister, we're in the living room watching TV. And then I think I was gonna go shower or something. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, go. And I'm talking to her, and I'm going up the stairs again. And I'm talking to my sister, and she's over here. And I'm going up the stairs, and I'm talking to her. And then I just turn to like keep going up the stairs. And in a flash, I saw a shadow, but like a body, like a small, I would say maybe a child like size, just a shadow like this, and it was like right here. And I just went like, what the heck? And my sister's like, what did you see? And I'm like, I don't know. I just saw something like a shadow. And she like, and again, we had never seen this. I had seen the movements and all that, but we had never really talked about that, right? And I told her I just saw something, and she like, is it short? And I'm like, yes. She's like, I've seen it too. And I'm like,
Whoa.
I mean, and I think at that point I didn't really want to talk about it. And, this is like one of my, like, as an adult, this is one of my first experiences that I've had. This is before all the other stories I've told you about. So to me, it was like, I'm going to go shower. Like, I'm just going to go. And I don't really talk to my sister about it, but I'm curious to ask her what she's seen. But the fact that she said was it short? And
But you
that's
guys really never
exactly what I
talked
saw.
about it later?
Oh,
Like later in life? Wow.
no. I think I just kind of just let it go, and I just like, and obviously now that I've experienced other things, like to me, it's like, oh dang, like I should talk to her. And now I'm talking to you guys, I'm like, man,
Because I wonder if
talk to
she
her
has
about
continued to see stuff too.
and she lives there. She lives in that house.
But she still lives
So
there?
yeah, she still lives there. Yeah. My mom and her basically kept that house, and yeah, they're there. So they're living there, and I haven't seen. I mean, again, I saw movements here and there, but that in particular, I did not see anything like that.
Do you know, has your mom ever seen anything?
Not in that house that
Okay.
I've talked to her about, because we talked about ghost stories and all that. The main thing that we'll always kind of revert back to is that my childhood home where that lady passed that I'm telling you guys about. But they knew more about that, so I didn't know about any of that. And now that I'm older, like I would ask my mom about that house, and she would confirm like a lot of those things. She didn't even remember the story I told you guys about the footsteps that I heard. My mom didn't even remember that. And I told her like, oh, I heard footsteps, and she didn't remember that. But yeah, anyways, but yeah, I need to close that chapter. I think I'll talk to that'll be my homework, I guess. I'll talk to my mom and my sister and see if they've seen anything else, what they have seen, of what they've heard, etc. in that house. But the other mini story, this one's crazy because it's, well, I'll just tell you guys. So we were having a party or a get together. I don't remember if it was a party, but I remember my sister invited her now husband's family. I think at the time they were still dating, if I'm not mistaken. So, we had a bunch of people coming over. And so as people were coming in, same layout. So you walk in, living room, stairs, kitchen, and then if you keep walking straight, it's the backyard. So everybody's in the backyard, right? And people are coming in, so on and so forth. Again, my sister's husband's family was invited, so they, uncles, his parents, relatives, just a lot of people are coming in. And then there's one relative, an uncle of my brother-in-law's, basically, gets there with his kids and his wife. So they walk in and my parents, oh hi, come on in, kind of like a hi from afar, right? Come on in, help yourself to whatever, here's the restroom, here's this, help yourself to whatever. So they go in, go straight to the backyard, and they're there hanging out. My parents, they're obviously with other people, they're mingling with everybody and, trying to be hosts, and just trying to mingle with everybody. So they finally get a chance to go to the guy and to the uncle. And he's like, oh, where's your wife? And the guy's like, my wife's not here. She passed away a couple weeks ago. And they're like, what? Okay, you came in. This is what they said. I didn't see any of this. So they just said, you came in with your kids and your wife was right behind you, smiling. Like she was just smiling. And both my mom and my dad saw her, both of them.
Whoa.
And they both said the same story. They all walked in and she turned like she was going to the restroom. So again, the layout's straight. You turn to the right after the living room, it's the kitchen. You turn to the left is the garage. Right next to the garage, there's a little hallway. That's where the restroom is. So they said they saw her turn into the bathroom or like towards that direction, right? And the rest of the family kept going straight. And so when they asked him, he's like, and it's true, his wife had just passed, like maybe not even a month before, it was a few weeks. And so, and my parents knew, but I don't think they made the correlation that it was the same. They heard it because they knew the guy, but not too well. So I think they were mixing him up with someone else or so. I don't know the story. I need to get that straight, but they saw her walking in like they said the biggest smile you could ever see, like from somebody. And yeah, and they both described her exactly the same. And the guy's like, yeah, that's my wife. And she had just passed.
Aaron, can you think about this family reunion when Roski's going to be like, hey, we haven't talked about that little short whatever it was when we were kids. What's been going on?
What's going on, right?
Or you should have sent your sister shorts with you talking about the ghost stories on the on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll show it to her and I'll talk to her about it because she saw it. We had that little brief conversation about it, and ever since then we haven't really talked about it, honestly. But again, back then, like, it's not that I was a skeptic or anything, but nothing had happened really to me aside from those steps that I told you guys. Other than that, like, it was little noises here and there, like, I never really saw it. That was kind of like, aside from seeing like the, something moving from the kitchen to the garage, I really hadn't seen anything. That was the first instance where I had an unexplained event that I don't know what it was, and the fact that somebody else kind of corroborated, seeing the same thing. It's like, okay, now it's when I'm starting to, believe a little more, and then all these other events happen. Then obviously now it's like that event was like whatever to me now, but at the time it was like intense in a way because I'd never seen anything like that. And my sister's saying the same thing. It was just like without me telling her, because I had never told her, I had never seen anything. And then she said that to me, and I was like, okay, there's something here that, we need to figure out what that is now, I guess.
So it's going to pale to your stories. Go ahead, Aaron.
Well, I was just going to say, like, every Hollywood scary movie I've ever seen typically has the same, synopsis or whatever, something scary, and then the girl goes to the shower scene. So this is an interesting twist, thinking about Roski going into the shower scene instead of what Hollywood usually tells me it's going
and nothing happens.
The other way around.
Exactly.
Because it almost felt
hilarious.
like you're gonna grab your blanket that like keeps you safe, and Oroski's like, I'm gonna go take a shower.
I'll go take a shower.
I'm gonna get naked and take a shower.
Listen, I saw The Grudge when the hands were coming out of the hair, washing the hair. That's funny.
It's crazy because you know, I was thinking like, oh, what story should I bring? And I'm like, I'm gonna bring those 2 mini stories. I think those are pretty decent one, like pretty good. It's something unexplainable because again, I can't explain that. And I think if I would have just seen the shadow or whatever, and my sister would have been like, oh, like just let it go. Like I would have probably been like, whatever too.
Yeah.
But the fact that she said it's short, and that's exactly what I saw, and it was like a split second right in front of me. And my mom's short, so like at first I thought it was maybe her but again, it was like a split second. So, and the fact that I saw there's nothing in front of me after that, it was like, what was that, you know? And yeah.
How short?
To me, it looked like a child. Like
No, your mom. How short's your mom?
Oh, my mom's, she's
5
under
foot?
5 feet. Yeah,
Okay.
she's under 5. She's 4'9", 4'10" maybe.
Okay.
Chris, you're married. Jeez.
Hey, wait. Hold on.
Have some respect for this.
Well, hey, speaking of being married, and this doesn't even touch Roski's stories. You know, I was talking to my wife about her story, which I gave the updated version last time I recorded. It was a few days ago. She was the first person up. She's changing the trash, putting a bag in, and she told me when I got up, she's like, no, I saw there was a figure standing next to me when she was doing that. And because then I wanted to know, like, oh, what were they doing? What they look like? She's like, they were like slouched, like they were like a sloppy, you know, like you. I mean, I took it like you kind of like you've got this corpse that's just standing next to you. She's like, the shoulders are down, and she didn't see it again. And she hasn't seen anything since. But I couldn't help but wonder, because I was asking her about these previous stories from, dude, 17, 18 years ago. How it did that like kind of get her back in the realm of being more aware of it or something. So I don't know. Like I can't help but think of, you know,
And you guys haven't experienced anything since I've told you guys stories, right? Aside from like you guys haven't seen or experienced anything?
I haven't. And anything my wife has seen, the stuff with the glass breaking, that was before we were dating. So I mean, I didn't experience any of that. But I told you the earthquakes I've experienced with her. She'll tell me an earthquake's happening before I feel it. So I've always kind of had this correlation to, she must be in touch with just this other energy that I just have zero connection to or zero openness to.
Yeah.
Have you guys shared my stories with them by chance? Like with your families?
Oh yeah, I was telling my wife. I haven't told my kids because, you know, I need them to sleep, Broski.
Yeah, of course.
But I was telling my wife, just kind of like, oh well, it's the off season. She hates football. Like she doesn't care about it. She's not gonna know what we're talking about for football. And so I was telling her like, oh, we're doing like these get to know you segments. We can just ask random questions. We are talking about horror films. Now it's their ghost stories. And her mom has gone ghost hunting before.
Cool.
You know, so she's supposed to come visit the middle of April. So maybe we'll ask her about that and then
get some stories. Yeah.
But it's all TSA related. We'll see if she actually makes it out here.
Yeah.
She got to fly.
Right now it's crazy, right? With all I've seen some videos where like the lines are super crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. How about you, Aaron? You talk a ghost at your house?
No. I have one mini story that's not even a story. The only unexplainable thing that's ever happened to me is that I was at Salzer's. You guys know where Salzer's is? Over in Ventura. It's a record store for our fans who aren't from the area. I was just walking down the hall by myself, and I felt something grab my shoulder and pull me back like this, and then nothing was behind me. I don't attribute it to paranormal or anything like that, but it's the only thing in my life I'm like literally grabbed and pulled me, and like I looked and just nothing was there. I was like, that was weird. Maybe I just had a
sounds paranormal.
Hey, that's
and if
you
it was,
you actually felt a hand on you grab you.
I felt like the pull, pull my body. I was like, what the heck? But you know, who knows? It probably was an earthquake.
You should do some research on Salzer's. Maybe the ground they built on is haunted.
Ooh, Pet Cemetery. It is right next to the cemetery, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
that's true.
See, there might be a lot of stories at Salzer's like that.
Have you guys seen those Tesla videos where they go to like the cemeteries?
I don't think so.
No. So there's videos of like Teslas. You know how they have that technology to see when somebody's walking or like, so you don't hit them, right? So they've taken Teslas to the cemetery, and so the camera will, like, when somebody's walking, like, it will kind of create an image of the person, so that way you don't hit them, right? But people go to the cemetery, and you just see on the screen there's a bunch of like people around, and then they pan the camera to like to see the cemetery, and there's nobody.
Bro, if I was driving a car like that, I would lose, and I saw nobody, I'd lose my mind. Like, it's not gonna be good for my well-being.
Wait, I'm gonna end on this one too.
Yeah, check those out. They're pretty cool.
That Tesla story, because my wife doesn't watch the podcast, so I can roast her on here. It was like on TikTok when they said, "Hey, everybody, go look in your old iPhone boxes because there's a pair of AirPods in your old iPhone box." And she comes to me, she says, "Do we have any more old iPhone boxes? I want to see if there's any AirPods in there." I'm like, people are just stuffing that in there. It's not really that they're in the box, okay? Like, it's all just a horse malarkey.
She was hoping, man.
Yeah.
Like, how many people fell for this?
No, thousands.
Seriously.
Yeah, what's funny is his wife's now going to watch this episode.
She's right? Listening to it right now. She's going to take me to Salzers.
I'll make sure it's not one of our shorts. Don't worry. All right, cool, fellas. That was Aaron's last words. Roski, any last words before we say farewell?
My actual Aaron, final last word. Shout out to Team USA, doing their thing in flag football and crushing the NFL teams. Shout out to them. Everyone's saying that, the NFL players can come and dominate and take over, and they put that work in. So good for them.
Here. That's true. My last words is, who wants to go ghost hunting with me? Because I've been watching videos, and I've been getting the itch to do it. But again, I don't know. Something about going alone that I'm like, I don't know. But
that's a perfect.
Don't go alone. Don't go alone.
That is a perfect toilet bowl punishment. Honestly, doesn't harm anybody. It's something nobody probably wants to do because it's scary. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for voting for that in the league.
Hey, and you don't have to go alone. I'll go with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Broski will go with you as a chaperone.
Put it out to the league. Yeah, no matter what, Broski will go with you. But how do you feel about going ghost hunting? That's a question for our league. As a punishment.
That'll be cool.
If you lose, you have to go solo, Broski. That's on you at that point.
Here, we'll find out. We'll find out if our league watches this podcast to the end, because we'll hear from them. So I'll put it up there. I'll put it up there tonight, and we'll see if they actually listen to this thing.
There you go.
Put a ghost face sign in the chat if you are down for that, and if you're not, just a thumbs down.
There you go. Ghost face sign in the chat. Yep, if you're down. Awesome. Good stuff, fellas. Always a pleasure hanging out with the two of you. And Chelsea, sorry she couldn't make it tonight, but I'm sure we'll probably see her next time. All right, y'all. And have a good dinner and evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Good.
Later.